race in prospect, Steve.
Yes, and number 14 here on pole position, Ben Field, leads the championship. What a fantastic year Ben has had. Second on the grid is number 71. So welcome to Jimmy Dye, who's coming for a play in Thundersport GB, and Richard McNeil is alongside him, number 22. Richard could do with some good results, Robin, if he wants to catch Ben in the championship.
Yeah, it's been a big old tussle, hasn't it, season long at the top of the standings, and it's got even more intense as the season's gone on. There we see 88 Chris Thompson, and just across there, number 5 is Josh Wainwright. Good to see Josh out to play as well, alongside Adam Oliver, of course. So 1 or 2 irregular runners along with the regulars. Well, I think that BSB's here on Brands actually in a few weeks' time, but it's great because it provides huge competition for the regular championship runners, and Richie McNeil absolutely scorching away. Well, he's pasted in some really brilliant starts so far this season, but at the beginning of the year it was looking very good for Richie, but then once Ben Field hit his stride, took his first pole position, his first win at Camberwell Park, he really hasn't looked over his shoulder much since then, has he? No,
he's not. It was another good start also for Josh Wainwright there, who's in second position, and I've looked at towards the back, and Tom McHale from 13th, 14th on the grid flew through from the start to get himself up to 6th or 7th place. So yeah, Richard McNeil, we expect to see him get away well. He'll look to build a gap now because Ben Field will look to get to that. Oh, look at the rear end of that Suzuki there, snaking out of clearways. That's a heart in man's moment.
Yeah, that's Richie McNeil, but he's keeping it absolutely buttoned, isn't he? And he knows really that his best opportunity in this race is to get away as far and as fast as he can at the front. He's got Ben Field. That's a remarkable performance from Ben. It was only last season that Ben was a rookie, but he's just absolutely everything coming together for the young rider from King's Heath. And he's got some very speedy British Championship runners behind him at the moment.
Yeah, his first wildcard BSB round at Donington a couple of weeks ago, and it might not have gone quite to plan, but either way, you've got to start somewhere, and in this championship he has been fantastic. Jimmy Dye will now look to make progress too, but McNeil building a nice healthy lead so far.
We've also got Chris Thompson and Jess Traylor who come on to join in the fun this weekend, but up the front, well, it's the 2 regular championship protagonists, Richie McNeil from Ben Field at the moment. There we see Adam Oliver running into Druids.
Yeah, just ahead of him, Tom McHale, and Richie Thornton's a few bike lengths up the front. Sorry, yeah, that was a major moment there for McNeil.
Oh, that will take the stuffing out of his lap. He ran right up the curves and over them at Graham Hill Bend, and that will mean, oh, look at that, that's exactly the result you'd expect. That will take at least the fat part of a second out of his lap time, and Ben Field is on him. It's the run of a drain pipe. He's right with Richie, and all that hard work, Steve, that Richie's put in the early part of the race, almost gone for naught there at Graham Hill Bend.
Yeah, it's a long race as well, 16 laps, remember, and he's already had 2 moments out there, which will be enough for most people to park it up, but so far he's just about holding on to the lead, but he's going to know about Ben Field's presence anytime soon.
Yeah, oh, look at Ben Field, he's almost gone through the corner before the bike did. He's so eager. He's looking now for the one twitch, the one mistake, or even just the one gap, because of course Brands Hatch being a natural circuit, not designed on a computer. If a computer designed a circuit like this, you'd chuck it out the window. This is one of God's circuits laid into the land. And it does mean that there isn't any one right line through any of the corners. There's always a choice, just depends which one you pick.
Yeah, it all depends on setup as well, as Ben Field has a look up at the front. Setup around here is crucial. You've got to get the front end planted, and that's just what Ben Field's got. If you watch them both through clearways, you can just see that Ben Field's bike is absolutely planted on the gas. A slight movement at the rear from Richard McNeil's. A suspension setting just minutely changed here, and it can lose you almost half a second.
Jimmy Dye in 3rd place, just putting in some very decent lap times as Richie McNeil runs a little wide at the top of clearways there. And there's Jimmy Dye in 3rd, and he'll be determined to get his face in amongst the 2 guys ahead.
Oh, look at that. toe down, I think he's almost decking out there. That's Max Simmons, a rider that's moved up from the Aprilia Super Teens onto a Triumph, and he's kept the same riding style, I see.
Yeah, Max, absolutely, he'll be loving this. He's another of the youngsters that's grown quite tall, and will suit him, having a bigger bike with more power to play with. But up the front of this, Benfield looking, well, very determined. He's out the front, and Jimmy Dye just, he's up the curbs as well, and he didn't back off in the slightest. And again, he could be, well, on his lap times, he at least could be up amongst them, if not leading this race. Josh Wainwright getting a little bottled up behind the back markers there, past Dean Young. He's got a bit of work to do as Josh if he's going to catch Jimmy Dye.
Look at Max Simmons' style there around clearways. That is impressive stuff. He's up in 11th position. He's lapping in low 50s. It's his first ever time on a 600 around here. Last lap flag out. Jimmy Dye has got past Richard McNeil and is up into 2nd position, but Benfield looks to extend his championship lead here.
Yep, Benfield out the front and very busy at the moment. They've got a lot of traffic to work their way past, but this has been a superb race for Ben, and also, of course, will do his championship aspirations no end of good. Superb points and the win for Benfield, and Jimmy Dye just getting up ahead of Richie McNeil at the end there. So lovely stuff, but Richie losing out. He's 3rd behind Jimmy and Ben. Josh Wainwright was 4th, Chris Thompson 5th, and Tom McHale an excellent 6th place. Well, Benfield taking the win then from Jimmy Dye and Richie McNeil.
Motorbike Accident Law Formula 600 winner Benfield, it's gone very well for you so far. You are the championship lead, you've extended that lead, and so far this season you're really coming together. Everything is going well. BSB ride went pretty good as well.
Well, last weekend was a bit disappointing at the BSB. I qualified really well. I had a 17th in qualifying, and then it went a bit tits up a bit in the races. I didn't get out for the first race, and then the second race I crashed, so it was a little bit disappointing. But no, it was all positive really. And then coming into this weekend, I took the positives out of last weekend and bought them this weekend, and it seems to have worked in my favour really.
And the lap times are very good as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really surprised, to be fair. I mean, last year when I come here, I think I crashed in qualifying and ended up in hospital, and so I did come into this weekend. I just wanted to blow the cobwebs out, and I just focused on the track really, tried to get used to it as much as I can, and managed to get my lap times down. It was quite surprising really.
And anyone to thank at all, Ben?
I got W. Kelly Limited. He's helped us out ever so much the past few rounds. He's been a big help. Gaz from Retro Drive, my mum, my dad, and my girlfriend, Oxford and Ixon, and just everybody else who's helped me out, who's all in the background. Just thank you very much.